What is up, YouTube? It's Grinch, and in front of me is the Payakan, the Tulkun, and Crabsuit Lego set from the new Avatar 2 The Way is Water movie, and I'm gonna do a quick review of it. In total, this set has 761 pieces. It cost $100 US, and it contains 3 minifigures. Let's start by taking a closer look at those minifigures. But before I do that, I did want to just quickly mention that potential spoilers are in this video for the new Avatar 2 The Way of Water movie. So up first we have Loak. This is Jake Sully's son from the movie, or one of his sons. As you can see, he actually uses the regular size torso as well as the regular size minifigure legs. And like a lot of these Avatar minifigures, he has a lot of really nice shiny details and prints on him that you can see there on his face as well as on his torso. Around the back, those nice the printed details on the torso continue, and you can see there's still some nice kind of shiny little metallic prints there too. And he uses that same hairpiece that we saw with Neytiri as well as Jake Sully from the first wave of Avatar sets and throughout this wave of Avatar sets. Up next we have Sireya. She is the daughter of Tonawari in the movie, as well as there's a little bit of a romantic relationship or suggestion of one between the two characters. She is got a nice metallic print there. Again, she uses the same kind of metallic prints on her torso as well as on her face here, and then she's got the regular size minifigure torso and minifigure legs, and then she's just kind of got a little bit more of an aquatic feel to her with her torso printings as well as her leg printings there. And that nice printing continues around the back, and that looks pretty good. Again, the same hairpiece that we've seen in prior sets and on prior minifigures. I will say that the proportions do feel just a touch off because this is the same Avatar head that they use, so you can actually see over here next to the regular minifigure that head is a little bit bigger, and on the smaller, or I guess regular torsos, it feels just a little bit off to me in my mind, but I understand why Lego didn't necessarily come out with a new one just for this set. You can also see that compared to Loak, she uses a lighter color. She uses light azure as her color, which looks fine. I've kind of gone back and forth between what would be a better color, aqua or this, and I think this is just a fine color. The aqua might be a little bit too white. Last minifigure we have here is one of my personal from the wave. I mean, this is just somebody in a BDU. That looks really, really good. I mean, it's just somebody in military fatigues in Lego. He's got a little hat on, and he's actually the driver of the Crabsuit. He's an unnamed character. He's not necessarily supposed to represent anybody from the movie other than just kind of one of the evil henchmen in the movie, and he looks good. I really like that torso printing. I really like that leg printing, and it's just kind of nice to be able to mass a character like this. Unfortunately, I think Lego knew that, and he is in a $100 set, so I do wish that we were able to get a little bit easier access to this character because that torso as well as the leg printing is just so good. That print continues around the back, and you can see there's just a suggestion of some additional pockets here on the torso print. So this set comes with two kind of main features or structures to the main build here. We've got the Tulkun, which is the whales from the show, and then we have the Crabsuit over here. Let's start by taking a closer look at this Crabsuit. So this is the Crabsuit. There's actually no stickers in this entire set, so any details you see are all made from using bricks or their prints in the case of the Tulkun. As you can see here, there's a little propeller on the back as well as some of the crab legs, and then around the front there's a nice cockpit, just some really nice kind of built up pieces on the sides to kind of give it this crab look here on the main frame of the ship, as well as there are some stud shooters that I don't have studs in that are actually just sitting there pretty well hidden. And I actually like it when Lego does stud shooters like that, because to me this actually kind of adds to the build, adds to the look, because they're well hidden in there, and it just kind of gives it some additional details. There's 2 arms here that can pull out just like that to kind of have little pincers or little crab arms here. So they use a little battle droid arm right there, as well as one of the new pieces there, the 1x1 with the 2 holders on the side. That's a newish piece that's used to good effect here. And those crab arms can kind of just move in as well as out to kind of just give it a little bit more posability, playability, etc. The cockpit does open, it's fully sealed off here, and you can fit one minifigure on the inside. You just sit him in there, there's no studs there to stick him on, which I'm fine with. He sits pretty snug in there, and that cockpit looks good. Just a little kind of suggestion of a console. It definitely would have been an improvement if they used a printed piece here, but again, I'm okay with that they didn't. It just would have been a slight improvement in my mind. Taking this thing off the stand, of course, you can put it on there as a stand. You can see the underbelly of it looks pretty good. They actually finished it off with some tiles, so it does look complete there. And here you can kind of start to see the crab look take effect. So you can open these up, these little legs up, and then he can walk on them. So you can also display him this way if you want, or you can tuck these in. You do get a wide range of mobility here. There's a ratcheted joint piece there, as well as a ball joint right here on the base of the leg there, where you can actually kind of get some different mobility and movement and just looks here as you want to display this crab. And then they do fold into, which is nice. The instructions suggest folding this leg back there to kind of get the little tucked in look and feel. This does come with this little coral accent. There's not a ton going on here. Definitely cool to get this stick piece in purple, and then there's just a little bit of a suggestion here of coral as well as a little bit of a rock. And of course you can take this right here and you can stick it on here to give it a display piece that allows you to kind of keep it in this different position and make it look like it's floating. The one nice thing with this one is you can actually display it in a few different angles. It's balanced. It's a little off balance, but it does stand on its own here. So you can kind of give this one a few different looks to it if you so desire. Maybe you like to change up your display a little bit, you kind of get bored with what you got and you want to mix it up a little bit. You can absolutely do that here with this one versus the other sets that have these stands built in. Typically there's just one spot where you can actually sit them on. So this is Payakan, the Tulkun in the movie, or the kind of the whale type animal. You can see this is a huge molded piece right here with some prints on it that look really, really good. There's actually kind of three larger molded pieces here. This is a typical kind of Lego base that we've seen plenty of times, like a little ship hull base that we've seen before, but there's two pieces that kind of fold out on the sides of each of the sides of the mouth here, as well as this top piece. These are all specialty molded pieces for this, and they include a print. And you can actually get a really cool wide mouth view by opening this up and then extending this piece down. This piece does not move, that's stuck in there, but it is pretty big and understandable. So you can actually open this mouth up all the way like that if you so desire. And yeah, you can fit quite a few minifigures in this thing actually. On the inside there, you can get, I mean, I think you could probably fit 3 or 4 minifigures down in here if you so desired. So that all looks really, really good. So don't let the price on this deceive you. This whole front section is made up of 4 pieces right here. So if you compared it to the back, sure, you would add maybe another 100 pieces or at least 70 pieces to create this out of Lego pieces. So definitely understand the price on this one. Like the other vehicles or animals in this wave, he does come with this base. I'll take a closer look at this base. You can see it kind of matches the look and feel of the Crabsuit base here. They need 2 of the Technic beams to kind of stand him up because he is much bigger than the other animals or ships in this wave. And then you get the magenta leaf pieces here, as well as another one of the purple kind of stick pieces there too. And then there's just a vine there on the bottom, and then just kind of some different leaf pieces here acting as a build-up. And then of course this whole thing acts as a stand for the Tulkun. You can see from the bottom of the Tulkun though, it's fairly completed. It looks fairly good. There's obviously a lot of studs here. There's some like this is a Technic piece, so you can actually see on the inside here. And then there's kind of some yellow here that honestly doesn't look too good. I wish they kind of used a tan piece on this to kind of match the other tan pieces, and I think that would have been much better, because you kind of can see it when you have it at this angle if you choose to have this on display. So definitely something to watch out for, but not the end of the world in my mind, because in most cases you will not see that. You can also see here throughout the build there's some teal pieces to kind of give it just kind of a tertiary accent color, but the main color is this dark blue and white. This is the little kind of front fin here, and there's actually a minifigure, a place where a minifigure can hold on to. They can actually just clip right into that so that they can kind of swim along with the Tulkun. This does also rotate at 360 degrees as well as up and down, so there is a lot of mobility here too. The larger fins on the back side here, kind of towards the center of the Tulkun, do go up and down. They're on the ratcheted joints, so you can get different poses with them and it will hold. There's a nice little kind of additional detail swimming down the side here, and that kind of jets off from the front flipper. The back area looks good too. You can get a few different angles with this one. Again, this is another ratcheted joint that allows you to hold it well in position, but that does pop up as well as down. And then back here, the back flipper also does move, so you can get some nice different angles here. This is as far as this one will go, but this one does have a ton of mobility up and down if you would like to. And then of course, and here's what I was talking about, the yellow does, or the blue here does kind of show a little bit, and that would have been better if that was teal or something like that, maybe white there. So definitely it doesn't look as good from this back angle, of course, but I mean, you're not going to display it from this side. There's some really nice shaping here with some different pieces that are used, some different slopes that are used, so that all looks good on the side. Of course, these two sides are pretty much identical, but this fin is smaller than this one because in the movie part of it is cut off. Unfortunately, poor guy did have it cut off, so of course this matches that properly to the movie. Otherwise, really cool. I mean, this is where this system works really well for me. We've seen a lot of these sets that have these larger molded pieces that look really good on their own, but then when you kind of start to build off of it, the whole look and feel is maybe a little bit too gappy and it starts to fall apart a little bit. But I think this specifically is really a shining example of where it works and where it looks really good in my mind. So overall, very happy with this Tulkun. I think they've done an excellent job with it, especially this kind of front molded piece here. That looks really good in my mind, and then that Crabsuit is great as well. So now to get to the Grinch's guide portion of this review. I really like this set. I mean, for the pros, this is the perfect example of where these large pieces actually work well to build off of. I mean, you just couldn't get this shaping as well as movement that this piece brings from Lego typically. So I think the molded piece is definitely necessary here, and it looks good. It doesn't look disconnected or disjointed like some of the other animals have looked from this wave. The standouts, it's great on display. It's an awesome minifigure here with the Crabsuit driver. I mean, that guy just looks great. I hope to get multiple of them. I'm sure other people will want multiple as well. This Crabsuit build is really good. I think they've just done a great job here, and in a way that they didn't need to use any sort of stickers for details on any of this set. You know, this is all printed on there, and there's no stickers here either, so that's all good. And for the cons, I think this set could use one more minifigure for the price. It does still feel a little bit expensive at $100. I think $90 would have been ideal for me, and I think one more minifigure would have been ideal as well. It just kind of feels a little bit incomplete here, just having 3 minifigures, but the 3 minifigures that you get are good. And I think too, the coral builds are just a little bit lacking. I think from a coral perspective, so many of these sets, actually all of the sets, have a coral build, and this is definitely the second worst in my opinion. So there is a little bit of like lack of coral build. I think they could have just been a little bit larger, you know, down here or over here, and then had a little bit more detail, a little bit more life to them. Otherwise though, an excellent set and a really solid 4.75 out of 5, almost a perfect 5 out of 5. There's just a few details that I've highlighted that I am unhappy about with the set, but otherwise really excellent. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking, subscribing, and joining in the conversation in the comment section below. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.